It's going to be the start of a brand new series here. Make sure to let your friends know that this is going on. So we just had Shazbot and even Stukcha leave a follow. Alright, up in the top left-hand side of the map, it's Patience. The map is Triton, it's the start of a best of 5. Let's see how this one's gonna play out. Spawning in the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's Dream. Dream on Brave Star, Patience on LP, Li Peng, I want to say. Dream has won my heart since he recently came back to pro gaming. And I think Dream, he's up there with Bial. As far as players that were some of the best players in the world but never had huge results or anything like that. Like, yeah, Dream never had like a massive tournament blowout or anything like that. He had 2 SSL second places in a row. That's really his claim to fame. And then he had second at an IEM and an okay Kespa Cup result, but that's what he's mainly known for in the back of my mind. The guy who did 2 Star League second places, up there with Bial. Bit of probe harassment, Patience, someone like this. That's no surprise there. SCV is going to try and get on top of this probe here. Meanwhile, the command center going on up. Run, SCV, though. You cannot take this fight alone. Patience's probe is on a tear. Dream's got to send down another SCV to help with this, and if he doesn't. But he's got to send down another because the probe's just going to attack this one. Oh my gosh, this is redonkulous. Okay, no. Probe runs away. He knows the Reaper's coming. Big Daddy Reaper's coming to save the day. But that is such a pain for a Terran. Patience's Cybercore is done, going for a Stalker. Even going for a fancy probe hideout location. I'm willing to bet this is just for hiding that probe before it dives back in for a scout. A very, very well hidden location there for Patience. Okay. Reaper crossing the map here for Dream. Actually just gonna avoid that Stalker. Just barely runs on in. Oh, it doesn't commit. This Reaper could potentially scout the Dark Shrine that Patience just threw up, which would be huge. However, not gonna be the case as the Adept comes out and shuts that down. If that Reaper had suicided to see such an early tech from like this Dark Shrine from Patience. And there we go. There's the answer for what this probe is going to be doing, which is trying to stop these DTs, of course, because this is such an early Dark Shrine. So early here, and I mean, it will take a minute or so to finish here. However, this is one of those situations which is like Dream has the detection or he doesn't. And that's GG or no GG, pretty much. Reaper being a pain to this Stalker. Will escape, deals a little bit of damage to it, bruises him just a tiny bit. Reaper is darting around the map, but so far, no eyes on that pylon, which is going to warp in those Dark Templar. Dream has got himself a tech lab going up on his starport, but whether he'll make a Raven, that is a different question. eBay on the way for Dream. Double DT warping on the way for Patience. So, oh, the Reaper? Is that the Reaper? Oh, wait, the Reaper spotted it. The Reaper spots the pylon. Okay, Dream knows. Dream knows. Okay, so a Raven starts. He should not be dropping mules. He's building up energy. He does have enough energy to stop these DTs. Okay, is there going to be a scan for Dream? Where's the scan? There's the one scan. That mine just annihilates that one DT, and that scan's going to buy a ton of time in order for that Raven to come out, so this has really just been shut down here. This okay, this DT runs on in, but there's a turret on the way, there's a Raven on the way, and Dream's fine just losing a few Marines to this one Dark Templar. A scan goes down just to finish off that DT, not have to worry about it. And, alright, all of a sudden, that is a pretty darn solid hold there for Dream. Another DT gonna be getting elevated on into the main base here. A DT can pretty much always get something done. However, that Raven could potentially interference matrix that Warp Prism. So you gotta be careful of your patience. But he does want to try and get any little bit of value that he can because he is behind from that opening. That being said, though, I mean, he did get up a Robo Bay. And as a result, is going to be able to start producing Colossus, which once you get up to a certain amount of Colossus, it really requires something different from the Terran in order to be able to win the match. Drop going down for Dream, but yeah, we look at this for patience, and I mean, yeah, his attack didn't get a lot done, but I mean, he's still in a pretty happy spot, I feel. Up to 6 gateways, getting out Colossus. This pylon will be getting shut down here. DT out on the map, gonna start working away on this Marauder, and the Marines' scan goes down. Should finish off that DT. Does it get away? No, it does not. Nothing worse, no worse feeling for a Terran, really, than using a scan and not getting the DT. Meanwhile, this Warp Prism just being a pain here, just by existing. Zion saying, was the Keen Gumiho already played? Yes, the result was Gumiho 3-0ing Keen. After several failed proxies from Keen. Wouldn't mind just trying to zone out this Protoss army. Meanwhile, a drop in the main base of the Protoss. Just a Marauder and just a few Marines seeing what they can get done. However, then the drop going to be eyeing up the third base of the Protoss. In goes these units. I mean, looks like they're not going to get too much done, though, as Patience is putting out all the fires as quickly as Dream tries to light him. Only 5 probes going down. Dream's still up on supply, however, I mean, Gumiho able to, or Patience able to hold on. And, I mean, the early Dark Shrine was so negligible at this point that this really is just a normal game being played out from here. I think the best case scenario for Dream is that he moves across the map, brings the Raven, then interference matrixes everything. Or anti-armor missiles, then double interference matrix. And that could be a potential lethal move if he does just decide to dive on top of his opponent. Alright, Dream moving across the map here. Patience desperately trying to raise an army. These 3 Colossus can be disabled by this Raven, though, which could be very concerning. Is Dream going to opt for that? One Wood of Mine goes off, gets a pretty good splash there. Interference Matrix going down on the Warp Prism. 3 disabled Colossus all of a sudden, and it is Dream's time to pounce. However, Patience just doing exactly what he needs to do and retreating. And all of a sudden, Dream just used all of his Raven energy and did not get a lot done for it. So we'll see if the Protoss player steps out and if Dream can maybe get something done. He really just picks off a shield battery or 2, then gets on out of there. So, I mean, not a bad situation at all for Patience. Like, that was exactly what you wanted to happen as the Protoss player. As, really, that interference matrix doesn't last too long, and Patience just knew exactly how to deal with that. And he was moving out to try and bait that interference matrix, and then he did that and then just retreated. And suddenly Dream didn't have the army to engage into such a Colossus force. Now, economy-wise, it is still pretty good for Dream. Patience does have himself a ton. Oh, this Wood of Mine. Ooh, 11 probes go down. That is a pretty massive connection there. Nicely done there by Dream. And as I was saying, all of a sudden, Dream's got himself quite an economy lead. Now, he does have to hold on versus the Protoss. We take a look here, and Patience is crossing the map. He's one of these players with a killer's instinct. He is just going to try and kill Dream from the seam of it. And Dream needs to be ready for this. If he holds this attack, he's sitting pretty. Otherwise, it could be lights out for the Terran, as this Protoss is starting to barrel towards him here. These Colossus, really the backbone of this army, but all of a sudden, Dream already stimmed here. He's moving on into the Colossus. One interference matrix goes down, removing a lot of the firepower from this equation. Vikings doing what they can, but Dream's got to win this fight right here, right now, and in the end, he is starting to bleed out versus these Colossus. He's picking off Archons, but the main damage dealers of the Protoss army are still there. Dream is down on supply, and the Protoss player might just have gone for one of these classic attacks and just decided to kill the Terran here, and it's working pretty well. This is what Patience has been doing for like 3-4 years. This is what Patience has been doing like his entire career, and we'll see if he's able to pull it off once more. One of the Colossus falls, the Biostims forward. Patience, though, good micro with the Warp Prism, keeping those units alive. SCV's buffering to the best of their ability, but most of the Bio has now melted away. A Viking is working away in the Colossus, but Patience just microing those things so perfectly, and as a result, he is going to take map number 1 versus his opponent, and I think that's got to be GG pretty soon here. More SCVs being pulled. Dream desperately trying to hold on. He's got 4 CCs behind this. He picks off one of the Colossus, looking to get another, but there's so many DTs already in the mix here for Patience. Dream has been trying to hold on. Patience maybe needs to do another big warping or something like that. Take a look, though. More SCVs going to be going down at the 3rd base. And this is just looking rather dicey. Oh, the Prism does go down. The Colossus goes down. Suddenly, this is looking like there's a lot more hope here for the Terran. But man, this is still a lot of Protoss on the ground here and not a lot of Dream. He's got to be dropping mules like mad. Probably at his natural, because he's losing like almost all of his SCVs. He is down to 15 SCVs. He's got to float over his 3rd, and he's potentially going to lose that base. And with losing that base, yeah, that is GG. Patience, just a classic attack there. Classic, just classic. The Terran's like, alright, I got this. Little did he expect 3 Colossus in a Wings of Liberty-esque push gonna roll on up. Okay. It's like we just had another follow coming on in. Great to see. Thank you so much for the follow, Stillberg. And TRHVMN, thank you for the follow. Should be loading on into the next game, and there we are. PvT is continuing on. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. Of course, if you're enjoying this commentary, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, where I put up a ton of commentary for events that I cast with the Freak and everything, and then other show matches, and then just random like WCS coverage or random ladder replays. So all the Starcraft, and he's up in the top left-hand side of the map. 1-0, it is Patience. I'm always rambling a little bit during the first introduction. And in the bottom right, you know who he is. He's Dream. I'm rooting for Dream here, if I'm going to be completely unbiased. However, I mean, you really got to respect how Patience is pulling off these pushes, like just years later. The Terrans are like, if you know Patience, and Patience, it's like, Patience, you hold the Terran's attack. What do? He's like, build gateways, go for it. It's like, Patience, you need to roll a 20 for that to work. He's like, go for it, I don't care. Just go. Just give it. Gas, gas, gas. And we have a literal god, Maha, with a subscription. Making use of that September half-price subscription. Thank you so much, man. Keeping the Twitch stream alive. I do appreciate all the subscriptions. Just a little bit of support for doing these events. Yeah, thanks so much. September, for those of you unaware, subscriptions are half price, and I really do appreciate that. Of course, if you missed the round of 8 for this tournament, I'll probably put that up on my YouTube as well. Here we are, though. SCVs continuously being harassed. We'll see how Patience decides to play. Checkin's in chat saying, want to know my rank on ladder? Yes, indeed. Masters are higher. Yes, indeed. Masters 1 as Terran. Currently, I'm trying to get back to Masters 3 as Protoss, but I haven't had a lot of time to play lately. Like, I've maybe played, like, 24 Starcraft 2 games in the past 3 months. It's really depressing. I wish I had more time to play. Patience comes in with his probe, spots the reactor, spots the Hellion or Widowmine production, one of those two things. And there should actually be like an add-on in the bottom of my Twitch channel. It's actually a really sick add-on. It should actually display my ladder profile there, so you guys can see my games and everything. Yeah, I definitely wish I had more time to ladder. How some pro players do like university and still play at an incredibly high level. It's very impressive. I guess maintaining is one thing. Staying at that level is another thing. Dream commits on in here with his Reaper and Hellions. Only gets 2 probes for it though. I mean, he uses the Oracle energy, which is nice in a sense. Checkin saying, sometimes I don't know how to deal with a tank push in early game. You gotta scout it. That's the main thing. I mean, those are troublesome. Personally, I can't tell you the answer, but that's why I just like going for like a quick Twilight. I mean, I personally do lack on my scouting too. Usually, I think the extra probe, just like your initial scouting probe, just kind of suiciding it in later. I think that might be able to get the scouting that you need. A bunker up at the front for Dream. I love the choice to do that versus someone like Patience. Absolutely love it. And oh man, okay, Patience is up to date on the meta. Oh no, oh no. The 3 Oracle build is so sick. Just the choice to make 3 Oracles coming from Protoss these days. It is a nasty one. Now Patience is going to go on in. He's going to lock onto this Cyclone or kill that Cyclone, and all of a sudden the SCVs, they're in trouble. They got to run for their lives. Marines are coming back on up to help out, but in the end, looks like Dream does hold on. The Adepts at his natural didn't cause too much of a ruckus thanks to that bunker. He lost the Cyclone, yes, but the Cyclone, his body absorbing those Oracle beams bought time for those SCVs to be relieved by the Marines. Yeah, that was actually really good for Dream holding on. Now, that wasn't a massive commitment for Patience, though, either. It was literally 2 Adepts. He's got his 3rd base up behind this charge and a ton of gateways coming up. So if Dream's going to punish that build, well, that's going to be a little bit concerning. Oh, Patience is just such a guy. Moves in with that hallucinated Phoenix, I believe that was. Picks off the Widowmine. Was that hallucinated? It's tough to tell from these graphics settings that are on. Or was that a real Phoenix? We may never know. Anyway, we just broke 300 viewers on the channel, which is incredibly sick to see. Thanks so much to everyone for checking that out. Unfortunately, I am not observing, so I can't say pull up the units lost tab. I'm just along for the ride for this one, which is kind of nice. It allows me to interact with chat a lot more as opposed to organizing game lobbies and observing. So that's why I'm being such a chatty Cathy, for those of you wondering. We just had a few more follows coming on in, which is great to see. Balson, Gilmer, Shadow King, and DBSTLSTR1. Anyway, yeah, thanks so much for the follows, guys. I did have a goal to try and break like 100 followers within a year or something, and I mean, it's been a while since I streamed on Twitch, but maybe we can do it. Maybe we can make it happen. I mean, this is one of the things that I think is frustrating for Terran players. Like, Dream didn't take a lot of damage from that attack, but then he's still kind of behind in a sense, and oh my god, Patience has 12 gateways. What an absolute nutter. This Patience guy, man. He's made 12 gateways, he's making a prism, and I guarantee he's gonna go gas, gas, gas on 4 bases. And when I say gas, 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 I don't mean start mining a lot of gas. I mean, he's gonna go try and kill Dream. He's got a few Archons and Zealots up the front for now, and he's actually just going for it now, and this is a what the bananas situation. Dream's like, why are you attacking with like 6 Zealots and 2 Archons? That's not how this works. Looks like there's a little bit going on inside the main base. There it is, a absolute ton of Zealots warping on in, so that is exactly why Patience was attacking there. He was hoping to pull his opponent out. That one siege tank was doing work. Dream really needs to get that prism. Getting that prism, massive victory there as he shuts that down. Got Widowmines running to the front. Gonna hit those Zealots as they spill through there. Actually, fantastic Widowmine shots. This defense could be coming together for Dream here, as he's not really getting picked apart here. Usually the Protoss wants to snowball versus the Terran in this situation, but Patience just loses his Warp Prism, and that is an absolute critical loss. Both of his prisms have gone down that were with this attack. Now, Dream lost 11 SCVs to Zealots in his main base, but that was everything for Patience. And, yeah. Okay. That attack did not work. It's one of those attacks that sometimes, like, the Terran will just crumble, but Dream getting those prisms really shut that down earlier. Now, of course, Patience not in too much trouble as a result of this. I mean, he's not in a great spot, but if he can buy enough time to get in a few more warpins, there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. He's technically ahead on upgrades, or will be in a second here. He's got, in a minute or so, he's got 1-2 on the way, whereas Dream just started his 2-2, so that'll play out a bit funny. He's getting Psystorm on the way, which is the absolute best Protoss comeback mechanic. Dream not able to shut down that Stasis Ward. Yeah, I mean, I want to say Protoss should lose this, but Dream, I believe there's a chance for him. If Patience gets up to Psystorm, it's like a completely different game. There's always a chance that Protoss can win a game once they hit Psystorm. Like, there's a chance we just see Dream go for an attack, Patience just warping a ton of Zealots to buffer. And Patience has gone up to his 5th base, by the way, which is just sick. Psystorm, good unit. Psystorm, best unit. A ton of Widowmines getting burrowed at this base here, but good splits from Patience there. Or good probe pull, anyway. Yeah, the new ghosts definitely do help shut down High Templar, but there are still those High Templar that can be in the Prism. Then, of course, there's the whole mind game of Terran players EMPing right as the High Templar are dropped, which is just, if you're doing that, you're way too good at Starcraft even to like, just fathom. Now, Patience, because he only knows one gear, and that is forward, he's warping in a ton of Zealots, and he's attacking into Dream. I don't know if he's going to be able to break his opponent here, but he is up on supply somehow, and he comes in with Psystorm. Oh my god, is Patience going to win this? I mean, I want to see how much bio is on that ramp still. It's a fair bit for Dream. Looks like he is going to be able to push Patience back until another warp and a Zealots comes on in, and all of a sudden, Dream might have to skedaddle a little bit here. He's got Marauders that are locking down these Immortals, and so, Patience does end up retreating again, but I mean, supply is still even. Another warping or two for Patience. Like, Zealots are good units. He's microing his Stalkers individually. I don't know how effective that's been at this point, but I mean, we are taking a look here. Supply. Alright, Patience got a lot more Zealots warped on in here. Oh, gets the Oracle. That's a nice pickoff. Wouldn't mind drop going off at that third base. Gets 1 kill. Meanwhile, in comes Dream once more. He's going to pressure in at this 4th base of the Protoss. I mean, gets an EMP off there. I believe there may be another Psystorm inside that Warp Prism. Another EMP landing on the army, so the actual Protoss force is kind of being chipped away here, but there's that one Psystorm in that Prism. However, that really was it. Warp Prism warping on in units here. Just a few Zealots, though. It doesn't get targeted down, so it looks like the Protoss may actually be able to clean the Terran army, and that was pretty much a complete reset. And with Patience's 12 gateways, he warps in another bazillion Zealots or so. And suddenly, Patience is still... It's just insane how he's just keeping this going. Now, a Dream will have 3-3 upgrades eventually, which is going to be very nice. However, Patience has actually just fired up double Colossus production here. He's got extended Thermal Lance on the way. He's got Psystorm. So, reaching into Colossus tech is one of... Reaching into Colossus tech is like such a good move for a Protoss to do at this situation. It forces the Terran to go into Vikings. Like, once you get a 2 Colossus, it's incredibly good. Dark Shrine on the way for Patience as well. He's just doing all the Protoss things that you're supposed to do once you're at a situation like this. Looks like that 5th base is getting harassed a little bit there. Ghost count is rising for Dream here. However, Colossus, not super countered. Yoxi for the win. I'm just gonna go ahead and time you out there. Get rid of that link. I'll check that link after, but random YouTube links titled "Watch This." Not something we generally have in chat. Anyway, in comes Patience, crushes that 5th base of the Terran player. Like, he does lose a few units for it, but in the end, he gets on out, and Patience has just been throwing away units left and right. And Dream mining away these minerals, that one SCV doing his job, but he might actually let these Zealots in. Okay. Looks like a bit of a battle going on here. All those Zealots have clearly been EMP'd. Vikings charging on in, but it's 4 Vikings to 4 Colossus. That is not enough if you do the math there. Dream is doing a good job microing back with his bio. The Colossus are still standing though, and he stims forward. Can he get the Colossus? Running forward with some Marauders. He gets one, gets another. Does he get the final Colossus? Looks like he actually is able to crash through there and take the game. Patience is, Patience finally goes down there. GG gets called. Yeah, well done by Dream. Able to clean that up. Looks like a few more follows coming on in. Great to see it. DT Raw and Spectre USMC. Glad you guys are enjoying this commentary. Glad you're enjoying the games. More follows coming on in. When did you get a haircut? That's the question of the hour. I got a haircut like I got a haircut it was before I went off to basic, which was in that was July the 2nd, so maybe a few, yeah, it was probably around in July or something like that, early, or June, probably early June, because I had to get a haircut before that. Anyway, it's great to see a lot of you guys are from all over, all sorts of different platforms. Protoss, I mean, you gotta give it a shot, man. The amount of content that we do over there, it's probably been a long time since you actually tried watching on that platform. All I can say is that it's worth giving things a second shot, even if it's not your necessarily bread and butter. Spawning up in the top left, it's Dream. We had Patience in the bottom right. Looks like DK saying he's been watching my YouTube videos. Yeah, we do put out a lot of those. Probably will put up these other ones if you missed some of the games on my YouTube, so it's worth checking that out. So I might just link that in chat. Patience, he's got a bit of a cheeky probe that's going to be throwing up a pylon here. Probably going to be that double gateway pressure that Protoss go into. Now, every time I see this build happen, it's only Korean Protoss that I see go for this build. It's, why does he not just max packs? Can someone tell me? Like, to my knowledge, it's been proven. It's been kind of like mathed out that this build is better or worse than the max packs. Now the question is, does Dream get up a bunker or something like this? You're playing versus Patience, so an early bunker is always worth it if you're the Terran. Now in comes Dream with his SCV. He's like, wait a second. CC before Nexus. What tomfoolery is this? Oh, I guess it could just be a super early cyber or something like that. Anyway, 2 Adepts out of Patience. That's an interesting play here. A bunker is on the way for Dream, but oh no. There's actually no complete wall off here for Dream. Gotta get that extra supply depot a building. Oh no. Oh no. Build that depot, Dream, please. Lest he loses his natural. Okay, that bunker should get up before this Adept gets in, and that bunker is right next to the CC, which is really, really good for Dream. Bunker gets up. Units pile on in, and as a result, Dream's sitting pretty. Okay, so, Patience went for a bit of an aggressive build, and the answer to this, I just don't know. He's, like, completely committed to an attack here. He doesn't have a natural started yet. He may be planning to start one soon, and there we go. The Nexus is on the way, but it's so late. The CC of Dream is already finished. There's a wall at the top of that ramp, and then you're just laughing, pretty much, if you're Dream at this point. This is incredibly good. Like, you beg for Protoss to go for openings like this just because you know how well it's going to work out for you. As long as you get that bunker up, you're just fine. Now, Dream's pulling SCVs to repair this. Actually bounces one of the Adepts into his main base. That was a bit of an oopsie, but fortunately it was the injured Adept. 3 SCVs go down. I think Dream maybe could have avoided that. Like, that depot wasn't super low or anything like that. We see a recall from Patience to get those Adepts out of there, and the follow-up Dark Shrine is on the way now. Still, if you're Dream, though, you're pretty happy with this opening. The animation dude, I once bounced a bailing over my depot. That's rough, Mint Crystal. That's all I can say. We'll see. Does Dream anticipate Patience's complete willingness to cheese here, as we've got another Dark Shrine on the way for the Protoss. He's got that proxy gateway and proxy pylon. May as well use it, am I right? If you're a Terran, I feel like building the Raven's a pretty good choice at this point. And he doesn't know. Dream doesn't know. There we go. Raven on the way, though. eBay on the way. Now, this will be backed up by a Prism shortly after. So, I mean, pretty similar to that. This one hasn't been scouted here. There's a bunker, though. That is a fresh mule on the ground, though. Is there CC energy? So far, it's not looking like it. If you are the Terran right now... Oh, no, the DT makes it into the main base. Oh, Dream, no. No. Oh, that is rough there. Dream might have been supply blocked or something, so Patience is like, hey, I don't think he actually was supply blocked, but Patience is like, here, let me kill some of your SCVs off to help you out. One scan comes out, but 9, 10, soon to be 11 SCVs have already gone down, and that is very, very tough here for Dream, and looking at this game, that hurts. Now, Dream does have himself up a decent army. I mean, he's got a Raven, some Cyclones, but there's going to be a Prism, which is probably going to get another into his base behind this. So I understand the want to move out of your Dream right now, but you simply can't because that Prism's just going to stab him in the back. Now, he is going to be able to pick off these units here from the seam of it. Auto turret gets dropped down. He's actually going to try and break this location from the seam of it, unpower that pylon, perhaps. That'd be a very nice move. Cyclone coming on in, looking for blood, annihilates those two Stalkers, but then we see in comes this Prism with the DT, and all of a sudden that Raven is out of position. You either got a scan of your Dream, but you want to drop mules because you lost SCVs, so you really don't. And Patience just already getting a bit more damage in there. Now Stim Pack is on the way for Dream, +1's on the way for Dream. Combat Shield on the way. However, a Robobabe did just finish up for the Protoss, so he's going to be well on his way towards Colossus, most likely, which will help him out immensely. Is DT going to try and be a pain here? Patience just going to try and micro and get as much value out. If you're good with... Oh, great move, though, by Dream, making sure that Prism couldn't get out. No, from the looks of that, Patience maybe could have avoided that. We'll see. Because I felt like he might have still had an opportunity to lift that DT, but... Anyway, great move from Dream, shutting that down. Keep in mind, playing with like a Prism and doing it perfectly, you are bound to make mistakes somewhere along the line. Like on paper, it's like, oh, you never lose the DT, right? Because you got the Prism, but believe me, it does happen. Now we do see Dream starting to move out a little bit, maybe trying to intercept a Prism or something along those lines. I love the choice to do that because Patience is moving across the map. 2 Immortals in this Prism. If this gets intercepted by Dream, this would be absolutely huge. This would be game ending if he picks off this Prism with 2 Immortals. He does have Stim. If he can get this, this could be massive. But oh, he lets that Prism escape there. I mean, he tried to get it, but he wasn't quite able. That Prism, not a lot of HP on it, though, these days. Marines killed him pretty quick. Patience ends up being forced to recall. Getting a little bit scared there. Now, back at home, he does have a 3rd base just about to finish up. He's got extended thermal lance about to finish up and a 2nd Colossus, so that's going to be absolutely huge for him. Army supply and upgrades are in Dream's favor. For now, we'll see whether he's got what it takes to make a push happen, though. Alright, Patience moving out on the map because, of course, he is Patience. He'll never just sit back and defend, and that's because he's looking to try and catch the Terran off guard, and he might just have been able to do that. These Colossus coming on in. Looks like Dream unsure what to do. He is going to charge on in, but that is like an all-marine force he has, so that's not going to work out. Medivac flies in, wrong side of town. Not a lot of anti-air for the Protoss. Dream could have saved that, but doesn't, so the Archon is actually able to kill it. Looks like a bit of a drop going down, but a massive DT warp in. One mine picks off a few probes. Of course, the drop can continue all over the place. However, then we take a look here, and suddenly Dream has... Where is Dream's army? Dream has nothing back at home. At his natural, I mean, he's got units out on the map, but no, they're definitely out on the map. His force was, like, split in 2 weirdly. He might get the Prism there with the Cyclones, gets one of them. Colossus are disabled, so this bio is coming on in. May be able to make something happen. It is such a wonky situation here. The Colossus have wandered away enough. The Prism gets picked off. 10 probes have gone down on the Protoss' side of the map. However, this bio is not going to be able to make the hold, so you probably want to evacuate. And as a matter of fact, Dream just evacuates the game as Patience takes the 2-1 lead. All right, GG. We got ourselves a 2-1, a potential match point. Who is going to face Gumiho in the finals? Yes, Origin says, why is the sound weird? Is the sound weird? Like, please do elaborate. We have a few more followers coming on in. Dawskin, Moo followed, Drift, Mason Key. Thanks so much for the follows, everyone. Great way to support the stream. And then I do say, I'm gonna shell it. I'm gonna shell it hard. Check out my YouTube. Feel free to subscribe. I put up a lot of VODs and stuff there. It's kind of my passion project. And yeah, we'll just load on into the next scene pretty soon here. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in. If you're enjoying this coverage, feel free to press that follow. Yes, Origin, leaving a follow. Thank you so much. A few more coming on in. DK, leaving a follow as well. Looks like we are into the next game there. So, spawning in the bottom right-hand side of the map, he's Patience representing Team LP. 88 Nate Diggs 88 saying exclamation mark grid. Not sure what that's supposed to do. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, it is Dream. Make sure to let your friends know that this coverage is going on. Alright. Probe being a pain because it's a Patience probe. I think they get like a special buff or something just because he's so good with them. Plus 20 annoyance. He's a player who will always harass with his probe. Because that's it really just ties into his play style. Patience is like, alright, I'm just gonna go for bold moves every game. It starts from the second my probe moves out on the map. You always gotta be on your toes for Patience, but then I almost feel like if you try and math out Patience, it's just not gonna go well for you. So if I was a pro player, I'd have no idea how to approach the guy. I'd be like, well, it's Patience, so I can try and predict what he's gonna do, but that's gonna make my head hurt. Alright. Dream scouting out. Always a good choice when you're versus this guy. Patience going for a Twilight Council, a Sentry. Wonder what this could be for. And is it another Dark Shrine? Is it a Blink? I'm going Blink, right? Yeah, there we go. Blink opening. The Sentry's gonna go for a Hallucination. Those Stalkers are gonna blink on in at some point. That's my guess. Dream, though, opting for a bit of an aggressive build here. Going for a 2-base stim, or kind of like a pseudo 2-on-1 in a sense. Going for a very, very quick stim pack 3 minutes into the game. Making use of that new quick research time, potentially going to try and catch his opponent off guard a little bit. Now, how well this is going to map out versus a Protoss going for Blink Stalkers, I honestly have no idea. Doubt the players do too. There we go, Robo follow-up, standard build. I love this build that Patience is doing. Blink Stalker opening, it's been my bread and butter for PvT, which is my favorite matchup to play, as it just gives you a lot of reactivity. Blink Stalker's so quick. Patience going for another pylon. It's like, wait, don't want to leave those unpowered. Playing it safe, good to see. But he is throwing up a lot of gateways. And he is on 2 bases, so gonna be putting the pressure on his opponent a little bit with these Blink Stalkers. Dream, oh no. This is the, oh god. Oh no. Why is it always that a Terran moves out for a drop? Why is it that Terran always moves in for a drop right as the Protoss is going for the Blink Stalkers?
They're attacking your base, you know.
Patience using the Diva announcer, very important. Reaper's getting into the main base of the Terran. Looks like a bit of a poke here from Patience. Now, this could get out of hand drastically quick. Has to dodge that Widowmine, though, but you gotta be careful right now of your Dream. If I was running all over... Oh my god, this Reaper has actually killed 5 units and forces a recall. That's insane. 6 probes go down to that one Reaper. What? Nothing really came of Dream's drop, as that was out on the map in an odd spot. But, I mean, that late poke from Patience... I mean, his attack really got the wind taken out of the sails, I guess. Did he go for a Prism and lose it or something? Because I felt like he made a ton of gateways, but then didn't make a ton of stalkers, but then also didn't start a third. He does have a Colossus out, which is going to be nice for Patience. We'll see if that's enough to stop Dream, but as far as a buffer goes, he's not going to have an absolute ton. We do take a look at that though, and it is just mainly Marines, so this one Colossus will be worth his weight in gold. Constant poke from Dream, however, committing into Colossus when there's sentries to lock your units down is so risky to do. And sometimes Terrans will just lose too much of their army, fizzle out, and lose the game. So great to see a bit of a play like that. Widowmine picks off a Stalker. Nothing too major happening this game, though. Just yet. I mean, Dream's going to be looking for an angle to make something happen, but then we take a look in Patience. Oh my god, he's full Patience. He's just gonna get up to 3 Colossus and go for an attack, isn't it? Isn't he? He just warped in a ton more Stalkers. Meanwhile, a drop gonna be going into the main base of the Protoss. Dream scans, but then he sees those Stalkers. Does Patience just go for the attack before the Terran builds up a substantial amount of Vikings? Like, he's going for it again. This guy knows no chill. Now, I think Dream is, like, everything he has is back at home. He's got himself a pretty good angle this time, I feel. I think he needs to pull the SCVs a little bit earlier this time of your Dream, because you realize that this is an all-or-nothing hold, pretty much. Does Dream do it, though? He's got a missile turret about to finish up. That might help out. The Vikings not getting FaceTime with the Colossus. The turret finishes up. That's actually... that's in range of the Warp Prism. That's absolutely huge, but Dream's just fizzling out. He didn't pull many SCVs with this just yet, or... I mean, he lost 17, but he needs to pull more, I feel. He is looking to push his opponent back. He picks off the Prism. He picks off the 2 Colossus, and okay, looks like that was a hold from Dream. Alright, that was looking a bit dicey there for a second, but in the end, Dream pulls it out. Having a lot more steam to his army. That +1 that he had really helped chew through the Protoss there quickly. So Dream holds on, keeping the you-know-what alive. Patience throws up double forge, starts making another Colossus. Fourth Nexus going up for Patience. In comes Dream, catching himself a Stalker or 2. Patience loses 3 Stalkers for nothing, really. And Dream's now looking to move across the map, doubling his opponent's army supply. He's got Ghosts out, got that EMP upgrade, enhanced or advanced Shockwave, one of those things. Either way makes him a lot better, make him gonna do great versus Zealots and such, and really just melt through the Protoss army, seeing as how there's still an upgrade lead here for Dream. Stalkers microing back as well as they can, but they don't really add a lot of muscle to the actual army. Dream forming a bit of a concave while working away in this Nexus, wanting to bait the Protoss into an unideal situation. This Nexus being worked away on. Dream's got a few units in his medivacs, unloading those. He's just got to try and keep baiting the Protoss out here. EMP lands there on the army. Sentry's got one Guardian Shield up. That'll fizzle out eventually, though. Vikings pushing this army back. The Stalkers are just melting, and it looks like we're going to be having ourselves a tied series here. That fourth base just being harassed, and there we go. GG. Dream ties it up 2-2 in this best of 5. Neither of these players going down without a fight. And look at that, more follows coming on in. We had Guy follow. The Guy. Footler, Hyperdog, and MODiv. Thank you so much for all the follows, everyone. GG's getting called all around, waiting to get on into the next game. AJ Extreme, I want to say. AJ Extreme. Anyway, thanks so much for the follows, everyone. Do check out my YouTube and Twitter, though. Like, this is just a passion casting right here. Great games. Like, I gotta say, it is so nice just to be able to cast an event and not really have to worry about organizing it or anything. About, like, players forfeiting or things like that. It's currently 2-2. Why did I cut my hair? The Canadian version of Uncle Sam was not a fan of long hair. Is not a fan of long hair. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. It is Patience. And in the bottom right-hand side of the map, it is 2-2. He's tied it up. It is Dream. Oh my god, Patience is cannon rushing. Oh, mamma mia. Wait, didn't we see Dream get cannon rushed by some... We saw a Terran get cannon rushed in one of the... I want to say it must have been a Freak of World or something. Yeah, I think Dream got cannon rushed by Patience, I want to... Or by Parting, I want to say. Anyway, let's take a look here. Is Dream gonna scout? Okay, he sees the pylon. That is huge. Okay, Dream, you gotta react. You gotta pull SCVs now. Now. SCVs on that pylon. If you want to hold a cannon rush, everyone, you need to pull. And apparently some pro players don't know this. You need to pull a ton SCVs onto the first pylon right away. So the fact that Dream hasn't done this has me a little bit worried, because now Patience is going to throw a bajillion cannons. He gets one of the probes, which is very nice, but now we take a look at this, and all of a sudden, there is 3 cannons building. One Marine is out, but that doesn't put out a ton of DPS, so I'm actually very, very concerned. Dream getting some SCVs onto this cannon at the end is very, very nice to see. He gets the Marine in the bunker. If he gets the probe, that would be nice. He needs to make sure that other Marine gets inside the bunker there, and he is pulling some SCVs onto these cannons to help wear through them, which is great to see, because otherwise Dream could just die. I think he needs to run the SCVs away now before he loses too many. Okay, there we go. He does do just that. Okay, so Dream does hold. Yeah, I mean, Dream holds this, but I still feel that if you're the Terran, you can hold this a lot easier. If you can hold this a lot easier if you actually just if you pull SCVs. Like, there was a time which the cannon wasn't up, which the first pylon was building, and I feel like pulling SCVs is worth it. But I don't know. I don't face GM cannon rushes. However, Thanks so much. Just that notification there. Steve, subscribe, or let me pronounce this correctly. Steve subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the subscription there. Using that free Twitch Prime subscription. If you guys got them, may as well support a streamer on Twitch, so thank you so much. And right now, Patience is just going to try and mess with the mind of Dream. It is Game 5. We just had a somewhat failed cannon rush. And now Patience is like, alright, the follow-up to that is to go for a hidden nexus. Aho101 saying, no more stream on Afrika TV. Nope, so we'll still be streaming there. Actually going to be announcing the next Invitational there soon. And you know, maybe, just maybe, I'll even announce it at the end of this stream. It's just a bit of a soft announcement to you guys. Hopefully I won't get in trouble for that one. But yeah, Reaper comes on in here for Dream, gets 3 probes, which is very nice. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Patience is still saturated on his base. Patience with his proxy nexus, or with his hidden nexus, might be confusing Dream a little bit. However, if you're Dream, you gotta scout for it. CC Quantum saying the Alabama Invitational. Hell yeah, bro. Oh, man. Now, we have Dream. He is scouting out with his Reaper, so he's doing his due diligence here, which is very, very important. He's getting up a bunker at the front of his command center. Doesn't matter if you're getting your natural at 5 minutes into the game or 2 minutes. Always go for the bunker. Now, did that Reaper not check that base? It mustn't have. Oh, no. Dream, why would you not? That's the one base he hasn't checked. Oh, gosh, Dream. Gosh darn it. Now, we could be seeing a lot of dead probes here anyway. Dream gets on in, but the thing is, Patience actually recalled probes, I want to say, so there wasn't a lot at this base. So Dream's got to be like, where are the rest of your probes, guy? Where are they? Let me see them. Marines coming in to shoot away the Oracles. Great split there from Dream, actually. He's just leaving a few Marines to help to try and intercept that Oracle. But, come on, Dream, you gotta see the hidden base. I still feel like this is an okay spot for Dream. Like, what does Patience really have coming his way? The answer is a very delayed blink in that Stargate, which didn't get a ton done. Alright, let's see a maybe attempted drop. Are the mines going to unload anyway? Okay, they are. One of them unloads, the other has been lifted, but that one mine's going to get a shot off. Hits a probe or two. Medivac gets out. Patience should be pursuing that. Wait, is the Medivac gonna see the base? Is it just gonna keep going? Is this it? Is this what scouts the hidden nexus? I think it is. I think Dream, the clutch Medivac that was running for its life, runs into a Protoss base. He's like, I didn't know Protoss were in this sector. And all of a sudden, Dream's like, okay, that makes sense. Poor Dream, he's just wondering what happens. That was the one base he didn't scout, though, so that was a bit of a mistake, but that one Medivac rights it. Checks that base, and all of a sudden he's like, huh, would you look at that? I'm kind of wondering if Dream could just pack up all of his stuff and go for an attack. That is a very tough call to make, though. Mint Crystal saying, Patience will probably make an all-in with the 6+ gates he's building. Regardless of the game. It's Patience, you can probably say he's gonna make an all-in. Because that's what he does. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Pretty darn good. Like, yeah, this has got to be good for Dream. So we could be having a best of 7 TvT finals. You can never count Patience out, though. He seemingly has an endless bag of tricks. Wants to try and make something happen with his Blink Stalkers, but not quite making that work. He's got his base in the top right, which hasn't been punished yet. So hooray for that. Technically, Patience is on 3 bases right now. A Robo's on the way for Patience. He's getting +1 armor. Charge. Stasis Ward actually catches a lot of those Terran units. Medivac makes sure that tank gets saved, unloads it just in time before it gets targeted down. Alright, now we are seeing Dream. He's starting to cross the map, though. He's getting a little bit confident, as he should be. I think he's going to be heading towards that Nexus. Does he know of the Stasis Ward, though? Okay, he sends a few units forward. 3 Marines and a Marauder. Not as bad as what could have been a big chunk of his army. Alright. Anti-armor missile goes down, so those Zealots should be chewed through the auto turret getting used up as well. The rest of those units coming out of stasis. Dream is coming on in with a monster army. Patience was trying to defend this base, but I don't know if that defense is going to happen. It's going to be a tough one. Great force fields going down there, having up this army, but in the end it really is still just Zealots versus stimmed bio, which doesn't necessarily work out for the Protoss there. That being said, Dream's army is quite stimmed. Another big warp and a Zealots going down, and Patience does have the upgrade lead. It's 1-1 to just +1. So, I mean, these Zealots are very tanky, and look at this. Patience wanting to get on top of this army. Probes are dying across the map while this is going on to drops, but looks like Patience might just clean up the Terran's army. I think Dream might have to evacuate with what he has. He's going to try and boost on in towards that base, where a few Adepts just hanging out, going to actually help clean that up. Dream running away with his reinforcements, has lost a lot of supply, still up on army supply though. He's got these Widow Mines at the 3rd base, still just being a pain as well. So, that being said though, Patience holds on. What a game here. What a game between these two. Fantastic series here. Patience and Dream fighting to the very end here. Now, I mean, supply is fairly even at this point. Dream does have a 3rd CC on the way. Patience has a 3rd finish, though. So it's tough to say how this game is going. Like, Zerg Reshalot saying, darn it, Dream. But yeah, I mean, Dream didn't make a whole... It wasn't able to make that attack happen, and as a result, this game kind of has been reset, so to speak. Like, I still feel like the best call for Dream is just to build up as much supply as you can, then go for it. Psystorm on the way here. Dream already has Ghosts on the way, though, so that'll be nice for him versus the Mass Zealots, particularly. You land a good EMP, that's a 3rd of the Protoss technical damage capability gone. Dream has rebuilt supply. He's now crossing the map. Scan at the top of that ramp. That is a nasty Protoss ball, though. So you got to be careful before engaging on into that. You do not want to get swarmed. That's how the Protoss takes advantage by taking trades that necessarily aren't ideal for the Terran. The Terran maybe being a bit overzealous. That's what Dream could be doing right now. Like, this is an all-Marauder army. There's just a billion Zealots. You gotta run away of your Dream right now. You gotta go get some Widow Mines. You gotta get your Ghosts or whatever else. There's a Widow Mine or 2 at the back. The friendly Phoenix Fire, though. Widow Mine's getting connections off. Kills off 10 probes on Patience's side of the map, though. And Patience is starting to really run low in the worker department. So Dream may be doing okay at this point. He's secured himself his 3rd base, so he's got a much better economy than his opponent. All he's got to make sure, though, is that he doesn't overcommit or anything, or he's ready to hold this attack, because Patience is potentially going for an attack. He's up on supply right now. He's getting up to Psystorm, getting a Warp Prism. Missile Turret even goes up for Dream at this 3rd base. I'm liking that touch. He does have that enhanced Shockwave, so the EMP is actually going to potentially be huge here for Dream. That could actually be game deciding at this point, whether he's able to hit all the Zealots with his EMP. Patience coming in with his Stalkers, though. Actually going to see one of those Ghosts. EMP lands on the Stalkers, but they kind of just walk it off. Stalkers regen their shields pretty, or Protoss regens their shields pretty reasonably. 4th base on the way for Patience, so he isn't just committing to some big attack or anything like that. 2 ghosts get force fielded out. 1 or 2 EMPs landed, not hitting most of the Zealots though, which doesn't really work out. We are seeing Dream finally step on out versus his opponent. He's got a ton of Widow Mines in this army. He's got the Ghost, so his tech is a lot better here right now. Patience might just eat another bad EMP or 2, and that would just be disastrous. Now let's take a look here. Another Widow Mine drop. This drop has just been going off and off again. Patience getting knocked down in the worker count once more. For now though, I mean, he's keeping it alive. He's got a Warp Prism, which is actually filled up with High Templar with Psystorm, I want to say, or it should be at least. Looks like that Medivac drop might finally be shut down. Forces a big warping back at home for Patience, though. Is this Dream's time to go for the attack? Well, looks like it might be. Patience is just defending this third base that isn't really mining much at all. EMPs land, hit most of the Zealots. Now the main concern for the Terran player is the Psystorm. Could there be an EMP? There is an EMP, but Psystorms have already landed. How's this battle going to go? Patience has to push up this ramp. His Zealots were behind the Stalkers. The Stalkers blink out of the way to clear the path there. The Zealots are now spilling forward, but it looks like they might be wearing thin. Is there another round of Warpins for Patience? He blinks with his Stalkers. More reinforcing Stalkers coming on in. It's going to be close here. Medivacs healing as well as they can. Patience has a nice line of Stalkers here. Dream retreats to his Widow Mine line. He's got a ton of Widow Mines, though, which are going to at least force the Protoss to hesitate. Meanwhile, Dream reconsolidating his forces here. He's got a lot more bio coming on up, and suddenly we take a look at the supply. Patience, he's got his signature unit here. 43 supply of Blink Stalkers, pretty much, but that's not going to be enough to overcome this Terran army, so he's actually getting pushed off, and GD gets called. Dream takes the 3-2 over Patience. Fantastic series there, but the Terran player prevails. Well done to Dream, able to take that match, and all of a sudden, we just had ourselves Dream advance over Patience. Fantastically done. TvT is going to be our finals. It is going to be Keen, or it's going to be Gumiho, pardon me. And we just eclipsed 500 viewers on the stream, which is sick. Now, if I could get all of you guys to follow, or even better, subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, glad you guys are enjoying the games. A few more of those follows coming on in. My sweet Baxter. Now, I'm willing to bet we're going to have a short break here. And then we'll be back just with the finals. So I'll be back in just a sec here. Going to take a quick break.